Hi, welcome back to Spirit Lounge. I hope you guys are doing really well. So, this is the next installment of the Nag Hammadi Scriptures. And today we're going to go through a fairly short chapter actually, but it may take just as long to read it. It's called The Acts of Peter and the 12 Apostles. It's really a story. There are some one or two things to explain in this chapter, but not much. It's mainly a story, and an interesting story at that to listen to. So we'll go into that. So let me first of all, before I do that, just correct my screen here because it's not going to appear to you guys so well if I don't do that. Okay, let me put that onto the screen, and here we go. Okay, so where are we? So if I have any questions or anything, please put it in the chat within Facebook or YouTube, and I should be able to pick up any comments, and I'll check those at the end. Most of the time when I do these lives, they're just spontaneous things. When I get time, I like just pop in and do them. I quickly read that chapter and summarize it for you all on a PowerPoint. I format it all and then I jump online. I don't really plan these, so they tend not to get anyone watching at the time unless they happen to see me go live and have the time to maybe jump on. So any questions, pop them on your chats and I'll see those at the end. Okay, so the Acts of Peter and the 12 Apostles. So this is a well-preserved text. Only some of it was missing. It just relates to a post-crucifixion event or moment in the post-crucifixion time of Peter as the apostles went out to execute their ministry. They enter a ship, they go into a city, and they meet a person who presents themselves in many guises and later names himself as Lithargoel, which is meaning light bright stone. I'll explain that later. And then further on in the story reveals himself as actually Jesus in a form. And you'll see that it's not fully physical form as the text reveals. And then Jesus sends them out to spread the word or to heal those who believe in his name, in short. So it's a story around that central theme. Okay, the first passage is the apostles set sail. So the apostles said that we sailed with others who were anxious of heart. So there were more than one. So Peter went with the other 10 apostles, including John and others, all of one mind, to complete the ministry to which the Lord appointed us. They went down to the sea at the right time, and they discovered a ship moored at the shore. They spoke to the sailors on the ship and asked them whether they could come on board. They sailed that day. They sailed for a day and a night, and a random wind blew the ship into the port of a small city. Peter asked the person who they met as he offboarded what the name of the city was, and they said the name of the city was Abide in Endurance. Quite a weird name, you must admit, for a city, but it has meaning. The next passage is the apostles meet a man giving out pearls. And so as I entered the city to inquire about lodging, this was Peter, a man came out wearing a linen cloth and a gold belt. He was good looking in appearance. I saw for body parts, soles of feet, portion of chest, palms of hands. His face is all I could see. So this was an energetic manifestation of a being, which wasn't fully physical and therefore fully manifest. So Peter couldn't make out the entire bodily structure. There was a bound book in his left hand and a staff in his right. He spoke slowly. He called out, "Pearls, pearls," and shouted out. I said to him, "My brother and my friend, He answered, "You are right to say, my brother. What do you want from me?" I said, this is Peter, "I wish lodging for me and my brothers. We are strangers here." And there's the person who walked out, the man said, For I am too a stranger along with you. You're right to call me a brother." And the man called out again, shouting, "Pearls, pearls. I am a stranger here." Wealthy people heard. They came out and appeared through their windows. And they saw upon this man no bag, no bundle. So they realized there were no pearls or no jewels of any value. So they did not even ask who he was. But he also did not make himself known to them. Okay, the next passage. The poor approached the man offering pearls. The poor also heard his voice when he's shouting, "Pearls, pearls." They approached the man and said to him, "Please show us the pearls so that we can at least see it or see them. We are poor and don't have money to buy it. We can tell our friends we saw a pearl." The man answered, "If you can come to my city, so that I may not only show you, but may give you free of charge these pearls." They said, "We are beggars. No one gives a pearl to a beggar. We ask you to show us the pearl so that we can brag that they've seen the pearl." He answered, again the same passage, "Come to my city, so I may show you and give it to you free." And then the poor rejoiced. Now, what does he mean by pearls? Pearls. It's an interesting statement. What is pearls? He didn't have any pearls on him. He didn't have any pearls in his possession, any valuable pearls. But the word pearls, what does it mean? It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for light, luminescent, purity, revelation, the divine light, the discovery of divine light. That is, the metaphor is used the pearl is used as a metaphor to describe that. Hence the word pearls. And later you'll understand that when he says, "Come to my city," which means come to the revelation of the divine, "I will give you these pearls for free." That means that he will give you the revelation of light within your heart space. The light is the pearl for free, because the discovery of the divine is free. So that's why he shouted the word "pearls, pearls," and saying that, "Come to my city, I will give them to you for free." Okay, the man named Lithargoel discusses hardship. Some people, this is Peter, asked about hardships, said the man. Peter replied that they had endured hardships in their ministry, and I would like to know your name and the hardships you had endured in your city. We are strangers and servants of God, obedient and spread the word. The man answered, "My name is Lithargoel," meaning light, bright stone. This is also a pearl. None can travel that road unless they renounce their possessions. This means going to the city that Lithargoel was mentioning. And fast daily from one night's stay to the next. Many robbers and wild beasts are on the road. But this is not literal. It means lower intention, energy, and actors. If you take bread on the road, black dogs kill them. If you take garments, robbers will kill them. If you take water, wolves will kill them. If you take meat, lions will eat them. And later it says, if you take vegetables, bulls will attack them. He said this to me, Peter. I groaned, "What great hardship," says Peter. "May Jesus give us strength to walk this path." The man said to me, this Peter, why are you groaning? If you know the name of Jesus, he is great enough to give you strength. I also believe in the Father who has sent him. Peter asked, "What is the name of the city you are going?" The man asked. Man replied, "In 9 gates let us praise God. 10th gate is the main gate." Now remember, the gates are the heavens, the passages through. So the archontic realms were 7, if you recall. The 7 archons, and the 7th realm being the demiurge archon and the 6 archons. The 8th realm being Sophia, which was the man who manifested the demiurge and the archons in return. The 9th is the recognition of the divine grace, the revelation. The 8th is the gate into the passage through from a spiritual sense. I left him in peace and went to my friends. So Peter went over to find the rest of the disciples. Okay, the next passage. Peter learns about abiding in endurance. This is the city. I saw huge waves and walls around the shores of the city. Then I saw an old man sitting there. I asked if the name of the city was really Abide in Endurance. He said, "Yes, it is in truth. Because we endure," I answered. Endurance is the first virtue. Cities populated with people who endure temptations. Noble kingdoms come from them. Through deceptions, these sorts of people will be included in heaven. Next passage. Peter and the others go to the city of Lithargoel. I rushed off to go to the city to which Lithargoel directed us. We renounced everything. We avoided robbers, avoided wolves, avoided lions. We were filled with great joy and freedom. We rested in front of the gate and talked. It was not a casual conversation, it was a deep discussion. Okay, next passage. Lithargoel appears and reveals that he is Christ. Lithargoel appeared. He looked different. He had a form of a doctor with a medicine case, and a young student was following him. We did not recognize him. Peter spoke to this so-called stranger. "Do us a favor, we are strangers. Take us to the house of Lithargoel." He said, "I shall show you, but I wonder how you know this fine man. He does not reveal himself to everyone, and he is the son of a great king. Rest here, I shall go and treat this patient." He hurried off and then quickly returned. He said, "Peter." Peter responded, "How do you know me?" Lithargoel answered, "I want to ask, who gave you the name Peter?" He said, "It was Jesus Christ." Lithargoel answered, "It is I. Recognize me, Peter?" He loosened his garments, and we recognized him. In other words, he took the garments of the doctor away and then revealed himself, and therefore he was recognized to his disciples. Okay, next passage. Lithargoel sends the apostles out. When he revealed to us, we fell down and worshipped him. "We are 11 disciples." He made us stand again. We spoke with him in a humble manner. "We shall do whatever you wish, just give us strength to do so." He gave them the medicine case and the bag in the student's hand. He said, "Return to the city you came from. Teach all you have believed in my name, that I too have endured adversities in faith. I shall grant your reward. But give the poor what they need to live, until I present what is better. I shall give it to you free of charge." So what does that mean? Until I present what is better. That means give the poor the food, the physical things, until the revealing of Christ's consciousness within them, which is until I, is something better and more transcendental. So that's what it means. Until I, the I is the revealing of the Christ consciousness within all, including the poor here in this passage, is better. So that's what that means. It's not physical. The manifestation of Christ in energetic form will come and teach them. It is I is the revelation of the Christ consciousness within everyone that reveals to them that which is better. And that comes from the teachings and ministries or the the verbal passing on of the Christ, Krishna, Buddhic consciousness that we are supposed to pass on through to each other, not only verbally but through practice and becoming that which we seek to go to and emanate in life. Okay, I shall give it to you free of charge. Peter answered, Master, you have taught us to renounce the world. We have forsaken these things for your sake. We only have food for a single day. Where can we find what the poor need? The Master answered, Peter, understand the parable I told you. Don't you know that my name is worth more than all the riches, and the wisdom of God is worth more than silver or gold or jewels? Now, he says, we are forsaken these things for your sake. I think that's a mistaken passage there. It's a real passage, but for me, it's something to understand. We don't forsake anything for anyone else's sake. If practices and rituals, and say in this case, fasting or meditation or prayer or forsaking material possessions is something that you must do because you're driven to do them, because you understand the reason why you are doing them, those things, and what purpose they serve, other than if they just serve self-righteous, virtuous, symbolic external expressions of look at me and look how faithful and how religious I am. They have no meaning. They have to have spiritual meaning to you energetically. If things don't have spiritual meaning to you energetically, then there is no purpose in doing those things. So they must have meaning for you. So remember, we do not do things for others' sake or for the sake because somebody says that to you. You have to have meaning for you. And again, obviously, Christ consciousness is worth more than riches, of course, and the wisdom of God, which comes from the revealing of the Christ conscious frequency within you, has that also. Okay. Next passage. The apostles are to heal bodies and souls. He gave them the bag of medicine. Peter was afraid to take issue with the Master a second time, and he motioned to John and asked, say something to him. John said, we are afraid too much. We have not been taught to be doctors. How shall we know how to heal bodies? He answered, you have said it well, John. Doctors of this world heal what is of this world. Doctors of souls heal the heart. First heal bodies through the real powers of healing their bodies. What does that mean? This means, remember in the text, it talks of miracles, Jesus healing with miracles. Well, there are many in this century, or the 19th century, or the 20th century, who were also miraculous healers. I'll have to find a name of the one in Germany, and there are a couple of healers. The names don't come to me straight away, but I'll tell you those on the next video. Who have gone around and healed people with energy. There's one particularly in Germany who has a very large neck with the glands here, and that is when he was healing. The energy used to come through those, hence why the neck used to be enlarged quite a lot. Used to healing with energy and used to heal people. People used to flock around the world for healing. This is what this statement means. It's talking about energetic healing using universal energy, divine force, which is energy projected through those to heal ailments within the body. And of course, if you do not change the underlying acts and the way of life that causes those things, they'll come back and further healing would have to be done, but it's a recursive thing. We have to heal and fix the underlying physical things that we do to ourselves also. And it's also called energy healing, spiritual healing, that kind of thing. Okay, so and where were we? Power to heal. Okay, first heal the bodies through the real powers of healing their bodies. They may come to believe in you, the power to heal sickness, and then they'll come to see that you have the power to heal sickness of the heart. Wealthy people did not even bother to ask who I was. Do not dine with them. Do not have fellowship with them. For many people in churches have shown partiality, this means snobbishness, that your ministry may be glorified. Judge them in uprightness by their actions, by their true nature, the ethical, moral fibre, their uprightness, that's what that means. The disciples answered, yes, in truth, that is what we should do. They fell down and worshipped. He made them stand up and departed from them in peace. Amen. That is the end of that passage. It was fairly short. It was just really passing on a story. But just remember, it does say in there to heal others, to become that church of your own, and become that second coming. That is the true meaning of what that means. And become the salvation is our becoming as a second coming. The salvation is within us, the grace and the Christ consciousness within us. And become these things yourself. As I do mention many times in videos, do not steer away from self-righteous, virtuous symbolism just to show others, and sometimes show yourselves just through acts to convince oneself that oneself is spiritual. Spirituality is a silent act. It's a silent force. There is no virtuous, self-righteous external act or symbolism or ritual that needs to be performed. It's something that sits within. And you have to enlighten and allow the Christ consciousness or Krishna consciousness or Buddhic flame, whatever it is you associate with, that flame to ignite and become an inferno and present itself as your being at the front to guide your every action, word, thought, and intention. In this way, you open up all your perceptions of sight, of wisdom, and awareness within the divine space. Wisdom, truth is implicitly shown to you. You won't need to seek it. You may not like what is shown to you, but you will have it. It will be revealed to you implicitly because it simply cannot. There is nothing blocking truth from emerging into your five senses, sixth and hidden senses. They come from those spaces. So be prepared for that journey, because you may see a truth of the physical world and the human realm that may not fit with the ego-conscious intellectual self. In fact, I will guarantee it will not. And confronting oneself and having to destroy all that one has established within the mind and whatever other patterns we hold is a strength that not many have. And going through that passage and coming out the other side into true knowing is a passage to be applauded and one to persist on, because persistence is also faith. So I want to say thank you for listening to this again. And again, if anyone feels the need to needs some spiritual coaching, I offer my time freely, because what I do will never be charged for, even whatever this I manifest to in the future. That is my goal. And contact me on this email address or through Facebook Messenger direct message, and I'll happily give time to discuss whatever it is that you wish to discuss. And if you that is available to anyone. And please cascade this and like and share. You don't even have to like, really. Just share this to others who would benefit from the videos that I create on the Nag Hammadi, but also the previous videos before this. They are going through some other perceptions about life and your existence and the questions that we all ask. So there are plenty of videos ahead of this. If you look through and scroll through the last couple of years, I think I've been doing this now, after I published the book, which again is called All That We Are. I don't hardly ever plug that ever. I'm very bad at plugging things. But again, do let me know if I can help. So I'd like to say, put webcam back on there. I'd like to say thank you to you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time, and I want to say have a great rest of your week. What comes, and I'll see you on the next video that I produce. And say thank you and God bless.